I was just saying. What's good?
All
This
right.
is Dog Days.
Welcome to Dog Days, where we are joined by everyone except Brendan, who is out being a modern man, seeing the world, seeing the sights.
During a pandemic. Bold move.
Yeah.
But he's back.
Hey,
Godspeed.
yeah, Brandon's in Barcelona.
Excuse me, it's Barcelona.
Okay.
They're different places.
And bro, Ben, I remembered that anecdote you told me about the lisp, the Spanish
Oh.
king.
Yeah, was that on the show?
Yeah, I told that to my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, and it's a very good anecdote. It's one of those anecdotes that if someone tells you, you have to like hold on to it, to remember it, to tell it at a party. Like
Absolutely.
it's very significant. It's interesting. It has all the perfect components of a good anecdote. I enjoy anecdotes. You can tell by the way I'm talking about anecdotes that I appreciate anecdotes.
I'm gonna tell an anecdote about how much you love anecdotes later.
Yeah.
There you go.
Life of the party right there. Do you have any other good anecdotes for us to do?
I have so many anecdotes.
Okay.
I have so many good anecdotes. Fuck, I can't remember any right now. Yeah, but I'll remember him throughout the show.
It's kind of what a podcast is if you think about it. It's just a bunch of joined together anecdotes.
Is there a raise hand button here? No, I don't think so. I was gonna say whenever I think of a good anecdote, I'll just raise my hand virtually, but I'll have to be physically. All right, I was talking about men's skate park, which just started as we're recording right now, on the, I think, 4th to last day of the Olympics.
Is it already near the end? Wow.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
Sad. And it's crazy because it feels like we're watching like world class gameplay of Tony Hawk's, like on Xbox, on the original Xbox, but it's actual people competing for like gold medals in a competition that started like 3,000 years ago. It's really cool.
Did they ever have the breakdancing competition? That's
next. That's next Olympics.
Sad. Very sad.
What do you guys
watch, honestly?
What do you guys say? We try to apply for the Olympic breakdance team.
We are the U.S. breakdancing team. Let's do it. We got 4 years to put a little something together. I'm sure we can manage it.
I'm curious, like some of those sports, especially for the U.S., they're such specific sports. I bet if you just picked like a really obscure one and you got really, really good and you put 4 years of time, I bet there's a sport that you could potentially make the team on. You might not medal, but especially if there's not much competition in this country in terms of like, you know, maybe one of the shooting events or something that's really obscure. I'm curious about how realistic that is.
Yeah, what of all the events, what do you think would be the most like realistic that a complete amateur with zero experience could plan, like, you know, train for 4 years and be able to qualify for the Olympics of all the sports?
Shooting? I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because those people are not athletic at all, and I feel like someone who plays a lot of Call of Duty could.
Well, it's definitely more of a eyesight and coordination
Yeah.
thing. It would be challenging, just in a different way. It's not so much like size based or anything. So if you put in the practice, you might be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like golf. I feel like anyone can, you know, technically,
dude,
most body types could probably like be really good at golf. It's just that takes so much practice.
I have a video of me trying to hit a golf ball at a course and failing, like literally. I was not joking. I was trying to hit it and I failed to hit it like 20 times.
It's tough, dude.
And the cart behind us was getting close, was approaching us. And Brandon and Big Tom were like, you gotta go, man. And I was like, shit. And then I just gave up. I had to pick it up like with my hand.
That's
Damn.
dang.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
I know. It was like top 10 most humiliating things that ever happened to me.
If it makes you feel any better, that was where I was at the first day. I was at a driving range, so that's just one of those that takes practice. But I feel like out of all the sports, you'll see golfers that are tall, that are short, that are stocky, and it really comes down to like technique and like consistency with that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. That might be a potential one.
I attempted to do Top Golf once, and it was absolutely terrible. And I'm not meant to be a golfer. We'll just say
Top
that.
golf?
If it makes you feel any better, I think Top Golf is very different than golf. Like actually, like.
Well, it's like, I mean, it's driving at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a driving range, and I just wasn't doing it. That fucking sucked.
Can I get some clarification on Top Golf?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like a chain of driving ranges, but it's like kind of high tech. Like basically, it's like a normal driving range in that there's multiple levels, different. You have a little booth and you're hitting balls from it. But there's like these like targets in the ground that are like big pits in the ground that you're trying to hit, and they're like at different ranges and stuff. And you have a whole selection of clubs, and the balls basically have trackers in them. And it's kind of like bowling, like you each person puts their name on the screen, and you take turns hitting and like getting as high of a score as you can.
Bro, that's so
like,
cool.
The further like it basically like big circles that are like the holes, and like each it's kind of like a darts target, I guess. Like each little section is worth more and more points. And yeah, it's like it's dope. It's just you have to be good at golf.
Doesn't adding a tracker to the inside of a golf ball completely change the dynamic of how the ball behaves in the air?
It's probably minuscule. I mean, I imagine that the tracker is such a small little chip or something, and depending on where they put it, it might not make that much of a difference. And I mean, it's one of those too. If they put it in the same spot for every ball, then you just kind of adjust and you're good.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting we're not in 2003 anymore. And
Yeah. Probably so tiny.
Yeah, they actually have to strap a D battery to the side of each ball. It's not the best.
Because they do that for actually I don't know if they do it for the golf balls like on the PGA tour, but like they have a lot of technology for tracking those too to a degree. So in hockey pucks, I know for hockey they have like little things in the pucks that can track like shot speed and stuff like that. Although there was one time I think last year where they screwed up and they put the wrong type of chip in or something, so it started actually impacting how the puck was like moving, and the players were like kind of talking to each other, and they're like, does this feel off to you? And I guess that's a potential thing that could happen, but I think for the most part they're pretty good about making sure it doesn't impact anything. That's me somehow getting back to the subject of hockey, even though we weren't talking about it. You're welcome. Well, I'd always end up there at some point.
I didn't know hockey pucks had trackers in them. Is it to be able to tell if the ball crossed the line or not?
No, it's just for like stats. It's just, I guess, if you wanted to know how hard someone shot, you could like calculate the velocity and probably stuff like that.
You know how in soccer they started putting chips into the balls so that they know if the ball like entered the goal or not?
Is that how that? I thought that was camera based, so they do it with a chip now too?
Wait, I forgot. I know for a fact that at least once in the World Cup they had a chip in the ball because I do remember that anecdote.
Huh.
But I don't know if it still exists. But I do remember when they made the decision to put the chip in there was because of this one England game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Might.
I think someone, I don't know if it was for England or against England, but the ball just like went up and down. It was crazy. The ball went up and down like on the post, down and on the post and down and post and down and post and down like 20 times and then was out of the goal. And then that was decisive either for or against England. And then they decided to like improve the system so that we can tell if there was a goal in there.
Makes sense. I know, because I know if sometimes if you just depend on the cameras, depending on the angle of the camera and where players are in the box, you might not see it.
Yeah. True.
Video review is still a very imperfect tool in a lot of sports, especially soccer.
Dude, we're not gonna get into a whole like sports talk thing because 2 weeks ago, I think that was the whole show, us talking about sports because Ben wasn't on. And then we're just talking about sports, and it was literally, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, anyway. But I just wanted to say it's fucking endless and annoying and just completely crazy how people in Brazil and the journalists and the sports fans, all they fucking talk about is VAR. Night and day, they keep discussing if like a decision was taken correctly or incorrectly, and how like Europe uses VAR versus us. And then they keep comparing shit, and then they keep saying this ref was bought and this is fucked up and whatever. It's fucking. That's what I always say to you, Shane, that they kind of haven't figured out how to make a spectacle out of soccer here. We figured it out, but then we got very petty with it, and then we kind of lost it, is what I mean. So people are always like discussing and bickering and shit. It's annoying shit.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, all the European fans complain about VAR too. So I think it's everyone complains about the refs. I think it's universal. I don't think any sports quite figured it out yet.
But anytime, the thing about here is anytime there's a goal, the game stops for like 5 minutes, so the guy can fucking check the video of the goal to see if there was anything wrong with it. It's stupid.
You don't do that every time.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah. Yeah. But on to another topic. What if UFOs are just billionaires from other planets?
Bro, I just heard like there is some recent UFO report. You know, I know Jacob told us there's a new term that the real UFO heads are using. What was it? It's like unmanned. No, wait. Fuck. Do you remember what it was or no?
I do not.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
I think I was late on that, but yeah. I don't remember him. Oh, they did talk about aliens. Yeah.
Or are they like UAPs?
Is that it? Like unidentified aerial phenomena or something?
Yeah.
That seems like it could be right. Anyway, I'm gonna say UFOs because that's what I've been saying.
Wait, unidentified flying phenomenon? No, unidentified aerial phenomenon is the same exact thing as flying object.
Oh yeah, it is. But like basically, like in the community of people who talk about this, like a term has replaced UFOs for the people who are like real serious about it.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about the new. It is UAP. They're talking about. I don't know. It's just a new term. I don't know, because like UFO is outdated to them. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm gonna say UFO. Fuck it. Anyway, there was like a recent UFO report that some like Navy or Air Force pilot like in the middle of like the Atlantic Ocean somewhere, they came upon a UFO, and it was like hovering right above the water, and like it looked like it was just like evaporating the ocean or like collecting water or something. And like when they came up on it, it just like flew away really quick and just like left. It's just like, are they like coming to our planet to steal our water or some shit? Like that's terrifying. You never know.
Yeah, I don't have too much patience for that kind of shit. I think like if someone were to tell me a compacted version of the highlights of UFO sightings in like 5 minutes, I think I can take like 5 minutes of UFO news like a week probably. But more than 5 minutes, I'm like, this is getting too like people that take it too seriously kind of like are a little cringy, but it is interesting because
I
all
mean,
that shit
it's like
could be
this is
real.
like Pentagon records though. Like it's like something, you know. It's not like like, I don't know. I don't read too much into it, but also like when the government is like making official, you know, releasing official records, like I take it. I feel like I can believe it a little more.
I'm of the opinion it's probably a lot of it's either just, unreleased military testing or corporate testing that just hasn't been declassified for whatever reason. But wouldn't it be so much more fun if it was aliens? Like,
I
part of
want
me
it
is
to
like
be
really
aliens.
wants it to be, even though I don't, deep down, I don't think. Like, I feel like the world's the universe is a cooler place if we're being visited by aliens who are that are like hanging out with Joe Biden, MDC right now, like, imagine like Donald Trump like talking to an alien and like what would that conversation be? That just I need to know. I want it to have happened. I just don't think it did.
I'm picturing Donald Trump trying to like speak an alien language. uh,
It's
I
crazy
it would be
because it's completely like illogical and like there's no way to predict. Like it's completely unpredictable. We're like as close, like we can't say for sure that like the likelihood of that happening has increased over the years or that or that has decreased. Um, like if it ever happens that aliens come and we talk to them and that kind of shit happens, like no one will see it coming because like there's no escalation, there's nothing. It's just like completely unpredictable.
This is
I
gonna
think it's
get
always going to be like that.
very much into fun UFO territory here. I have heard like again, this is not so I necessarily believe. I find it very interesting to hear other people's thoughts. I have heard things where people will be like, well, as we've developed like nuclear like energy, like we as a human race are taking that next step. Potentially, aliens are now a lot more interested. They're like, hey, what are those guys doing over there? They discovered nuclear energy. Interesting stuff. Let's go take a look. And then you would think that because of that, they're checking us out more. They're keeping much closer tabs, either because they're threatened or they're curious and like maybe they think we're about to take the next step and maybe they'll become involved at some point. Again, playing devil's advocate here, that's not necessarily what I believe. What's also interesting is that I know a lot of like those sort of sightings are very often near military bases for whatever reason. So that could either be, again, because there's aliens checking us out and they're curious about what we're up to, or it means it's other countries surveying other opposing countries' military bases, which makes a ton of sense. So like, Sam. But that's kind of where you're asking like why would aliens like be interested? I think that's what a lot of people in that community believe, or at least some of them.
I heard some like evolutionary theory recently that life on our planet was seeded like from space. Like there's some way that genetic material has I guess moved between star systems or planets or something.
Oh my god, it's an alien. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Jadu, watch out. Jadu. Oh, okay, I think it's gone. Sorry, audience. There's this big gray alien going near Jadu there, and I was getting a little concerned.
Yeah, that theory is really cool, Ben. I would probably say that that's one of the most likely ones.
Yeah. But then what screws with my head, though, is that if life didn't start here, it still had to start somewhere. So how did it start there? And then, then you're just back at the beginning of how to even show up to begin with. And then that gets very either philosophical or religious or whatever you necessarily believe. Although I think, I'm not versed in this subject at all, but I think there have been experiments where they've like simulated some of the conditions of like when the world began, essentially, like in terms of like pressure and temperature and all that. And I think those conditions can kind of spontaneously make some of those either amino acids or some of those like compounds that you need to create life. And they've shown that, hey, under these conditions, these compounds are produced, and theoretically that could eventually start life. But it's interesting stuff. Again, I don't. There's still no clear answer where life necessarily begins, and at least from a scientific perspective. And shit, man, maybe it's aliens. I don't know. Again, it's a lot more fun if it is, right?
Yeah. It's just like, it's insane to think about the fact that, again, even if like life was seeded from other places, like you said, it had to show up on its own at some point in history, like, barring intelligent design. But then where did that intelligence come from, right? So, I mean, but it's just crazy to think about the fact that something as complicated as like DNA and like, gene transcription and shit like that, like, just happened, like from chemical reactions. It's crazy. Like
it shows you how like powerful Darwin's theory of evolution was, that he just extrapolated something that he saw in like plants, and something that like geneticists had been seeing for years and studying.
Yeah.
And basically that theory explains how like DNA like came about, because it was just shit gets more and more complex basically with time. It's literally trial and error till we get to us, like people who know that they're living. It's completely fucking batshit crazy. Yeah.
Nature became self-aware of itself to a degree, which is funny to think about.
And all that so that God could have plastic, which was the point of everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, do you guys know the YouTube channel Foo the Flower Horn?
I do not.
You guys are missing the best high experience of your lives.
Wait, what's it called?
Foo the Flower Horn. FOOTHEFLOWERHORN.
Thank you.
It's a guy that he buys these fish tanks, and then he fills them with like, I think, organic matter, and maybe I don't remember now if he buys I don't remember if he buys like little algae or something, and then he puts them there, but like he keeps filming it, and then he posts like the final version with like the cuts and the different like time lapses and shit. But basically he creates little universes.
These
like
became really popular like a year ago during the pandemic. I remember seeing some of these.
Yeah, it's insane. Like watching, you really get the feeling for like how life works on Earth, seeing like algae like bring about like, I don't know, little crabs that bring about something else it's crazy.
Hey, Juju, I have a question for you.
What's up?
I looked at this guy's channel. Why is the first video I'm saying called "How to Catch Cat Urine"?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like,
what the hell is this? One of these videos is much different than the other one. And the description says, "Full disclosure, I've been collecting our cat urine for the last 12 months or so. I've had a lot of practice at it. I hope the cat has like a condition and he's not just collecting his cat's urine like a weirdo."
I hope so.
Like, what is he doing with his urine? The simplest method I know. That implies he's done other things. Do I want to know what those are?
That's the simplest method I've figured out from my extensive research.
Yeah. That's why it looks easy to do. In the beginning, it wasn't easy. Why is this funny? What is this?
Oh my gosh.
Just the last part is some of her urine. Oh, she has renal failure. Okay, she has kidney damage. So like they're monitoring the cat. Okay, good.
Right.
I'm glad there's a reason for this, because this is really weird out of context. Okay, this guy's a good pet owner is what this is. But wow, out of context, that's a weird video and a very weird thumbnail.
Yeah, he could have thought of his PR a little more before he Said that he could have focused on the right things instead of saying best ways to collect cat piss. He could have said
Yeah,
something like
it's just unless he's like updating his viewers. That's a really weirdly specific video to put on your channel about fish tanks. And I love the comment that Stella put that said, "We'll be attempting not going to the vet or anything. I don't even have a cat. I hope my roommate doesn't mind," which is scary.
I do have a story.
an
From this
anecdote.
past, an anecdote. Yes, exactly.
There you go.
So I was like, so me and Asia were hanging out with our friend Bree, who lives like downtown Chicago, like right near the lake on Saturday. And we all like smoked.
Is that the condo where you can't see the lake, but you can't see the reflection of the lake? So it's the same thing as seeing the lake, but you pay less rent.
Yeah, from her room. So she's it's like this high-rise building. It's like 50-something floors. She's on like the 20-something floor. She got a cheaper room because it faces away from the lake. It's the opposite side. But there's like this big, like modern, all glass building, like right across the street from her that's like way wider. So she can see the reflection of the lake like very clearly. So she could basically see the lake when she looks out her window, but she saves that money. So that's really, really, really a nice little life hack right there. But anyway, yeah. So like we were just like we went and smoked with her and stuff, and then we went on a walk. Like there's like a whole lakefront trail that runs like 18 miles from like I think like upward, way north of the city to way south of downtown, basically.
What's
18 miles.
Lake called by chance?
Lake Michigan.
Got it. Okay. So you're right on that lake then. Very cool.
Yeah, it's basically like you can't see the other side. It's basically like being on the ocean. It's just fresh water. Yeah, there's beaches and stuff downtown too. Anyway, so we're walking on this trail, and also Lollapalooza was happening this weekend, and so we're walking. It was like dark out, and these two like random guys are walking past us in the other direction. Like they seem like they were definitely like a little drunk, and one of them starts yelling. And like again, we were all high, like didn't really kind of out of it, right? One of them starts yelling like, "Hey, is that bitch Morgan Wallen?" And if you don't know, Morgan Wallen's this like country singer that I think within the last few months he had like a bunch of controversy. I think like saying the N-word or like some racist shit, and like everyone hates him now, rightfully so.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this dude.
Yeah, so they thought I looked like Morgan Wallen apparently, because like I have like a hat on, I have my mustache, I've got like my long hair. You can't tell I don't have a mullet when I'm wearing a hat, and he does have a mullet. So like it was dark out. I don't know. Like they were like not sober, so they thought I guess they thought I looked like Morgan Wallen. They were like yelling, dude, and I was just like, it's a stretch. Like I don't think I look like him very much at all.
Actually, Jadu looks more like Morgan Wallen than you, I guess. Like I don't know. I don't think any of three of us look that close. Anyways.
So they were like angry. Like it was one guy who was yelling, like I think he was fucking like pissed, and like he like it seemed like he like wanted to fight me, and he's like, let's fucking like get him, dude. And like we're walking by, and I'm like confused. I'm like, are they talking about me? What the fuck's going on? Like I'm like trying to like looking back, I didn't say anything, but like Asia and our friend Bree, they're just like don't look, like just like keep walking, like ignore them, like do not engage. And I was just like, in my high brain, I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like I wanted to be like, who the fuck, like what are you talking about? But like just who knows, if I had engaged them, like there's a very real chance like they would have like jumped me. Like it's like insane. Like they were pissed. It reminded me of the story Brandon was saying when we were at Balboa Park, and there was like some like weird guy that was like walking up to us and being kind of hostile. It's just like,
weird. It's just it looked like they were looking for a fight, and they're like, this dude sort of looks like someone we don't like. Let's just
And he was like in town for Lollapalooza, like so like they legit thought that, like it was like I was Morgan Wallen, like I had finished performing, and like now I was just like walking in the city on my own. Like it was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Without security, like these. Yeah. They were very intoxicated, and they were not thinking logically. Well, I'm glad he didn't get hurt, because that combination of things does not sometimes end well.
Yeah, right. Like shit like that, like you never know. Like, yeah, like I could have gotten in a fight. Sure, it would have been a pretty one-sided fight.
I have a different take. I think Ben is Morgan Wallen.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Maybe lock them doors and turn the lights down.
Is that
low.
him?
Nah, don't
That's
do it.
not. That's not him.
Okay.
That's just the only country song I can call up from my mind.
Damn, that's from like 8 years ago.
Because if they said
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you look like, what was it? Be No Money, BB No Money.
Baby No Money, yeah.
Yeah.
Like at least then that would have made sense. Then you would have been like, yeah, I look like him, but like, no, you don't look like
Right.
Morgan Wallen at all.
Actually,
I can look at him.
just yesterday, it was so weird. Within what 3 days, me and Asia went and got dinner, and our waitress was like, "Has anyone ever told you look like Mark Rebier? He's like a DJ. He was also at
Oh
Lala."
yeah. Oh my God, you do.
Yeah, I was just like, "No, I've never gotten that. What the fuck? Like, what is
You
going
haven't
on?"
done anything bad, right? You're
No.
okay.
He played Lollapalooza.
Yeah, which is cool.
That's
Like, I've
crazy.
seen a couple of videos about him.
This is Ben.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that one makes sense. That one I see.
Yeah.
How
It was
about
just like
this,
wild.
Ben? You should come like this to the podcast.
Yeah, we are identical down to our
Wow.
physique for sure. I'm definitely that Rick. Yes.
Bro, he's great. That guy, like I've always liked music production and people who like play with loops. Remember Ben, 2 years ago at work, I showed you what's his name,
Oh,
Davidas or something.
yes, dude. That guy was so cool. Shane, have you ever seen this guy?
Davidas?
Yeah.
He's a guitar player. He's a guitar player who I think like plays gigs like in the middle of the street. But then he has like a drum pad and he has like a loop pedal and he has like keyboard. It has everything to like make professional sounding music. Um, and he's also like a Steve Vai level guitar player. He's just really talented.
And he can
But
sing. Like he's a
yeah.
good vocalist too.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. But there's some people like him where they're so talented, I don't feel that compelled to watch them because I go like, well, I know it's gonna be
Well,
perfect. I know he's just gonna
also,
shred.
I mean, to expand, like his whole thing that he posts videos of them doing this, like he does gigs, he brings all his equipment, and he'll have like I don't know if it's like planned or not, or if he has a list they can choose from or whatever, but he'll have someone in the audience like shout out some random song that's like usually a song that's popular at the time or whatever, like a well-known song. Like I remember seeing a video of I don't remember what song it was, but it was like a Post Malone song. And he's like they give him the song. He's like, all right, cool. And then he just like mixes that song. Like he like he'll play like piano parts and like the drum parts and have it on a loop, and then like play his guitar and sing along to it. Like it's crazy. It's like it's insane talent. I don't know again how much of it is planned or like practiced in advance, or if he does it completely like off the dome right there. It's
Some
nuts.
people are that legitimately musically talented.
Yeah. I think it could be impromptu. And yeah, it's very cool that TikTok is as a platform has allowed a lot of these people who make these kinds of videos that make this kind of like content be more famous, because I think a lot more people are getting into these guys, these DJs, these like mesh up producers. Those people are getting a lot of views, which is nice. There's this guy who he gets videos of memes and he turns them into very catchy songs.
I think I know what you're talking about. Like Twitter posts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like is that the hard rock dude who kind of like jams out to like people talking, or is this a different one?
His name is The Kiffness. He has his most popular song is a lug cat. So it's basically it's a banger. I don't want to get copyrighted. Let me wait for the cat part. It's dope. I don't want to get copyrighted.
So he like remixed like one of those weird like cat videos.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah.
People who can do that kind of shit are so talented. Actually, I remember it was an HM shift once. I think it was one of the tech guys, like one of the tech team managers. There's like something going on, down in the square outside the HM office, or, the little courtyard area. They had like a stage set up, and it was him. Like I think he had like a
Oh.
set. You know what I'm talking about? Same thing we are talking about like with David. I was like he had like a loop pedal, but he was just kind of improvising.
Hey,
And like
before we get cut off here, we're gonna take a small break here and
Oh.
then finish this story in a sec here. So enjoy the brief break.
And back from our ad break.
back from a little break, what the fuck was I talking about? I definitely forgot.
The tech person from no, it was another.
Yes.
Was
Yeah.
was that the
So
story?
it
Okay.
was. So yeah, we had like a tech department that did all the sound equipment and video shit for whatever events were happening at the wow, what the fuck,
Price
the
Center.
building we worked. Yeah, the price center. Holy shit, I'm just not on it tonight, guys. Yeah. So anyway, this guy was like one of the tech leads, like one of the managers of the department, and I guess also his hobby was like making loops and like performing over them. So like he was making loops again like with a drum machine and like a synthesizer, and he had a guitar and stuff, and he was like singing with it. It was like crazy. It was like live. And the funniest part was like there was like no one like watching. Like I think this was in the summer or maybe toward the end of the year, and it was just dead. And he was just going hard out there with all his loop equipment and his little performance. Yeah, well, it wasn't much of a story to leave on such a cliffhanger, but they
It
can't all be
was
winners.
yeah, it was dope. I remember vibing to it a lot. Damn, I miss college sometimes. If you could get
Absolutely.
if you could go back, like if you it's a very rare thing to be like surrounded by a lot of your friends all the time. Like a lot of cool people your age. You're always surrounded by people your age that have like similar interests. And like if only I didn't have the need to finish like my degree in 4 years. And if only like it was a little less expensive, bro, it'd be like a dream. It'd for sure be like college. I'm not only talking about myself. I'm talking about like everyone. If money wasn't an issue and like if time to graduate wasn't an issue, college would just be like Disneyland.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
it is for some people that are wealthy enough for
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
that to be the case, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something, looking back, I don't think I took it for granted because obviously, like, it's not forever. And, you get 4 years or in my case, 5 years of this, and then it's the real world. But yeah, it's just like you said, having access to all your like close friends that you make for at any time of the day. Usually, you're all usually on a relatively similar schedule, what with classes and stuff, and having the weekends free. Some people have jobs, obviously, but for the most part, you're all kind of on the same page and wavelength of availability and willingness to socialize and hang out and stuff. Um, and then as soon as that's gone, like yeah, you definitely realize like it's tough to keep that kind of thing going for sure after college. Yeah, I mean, I definitely miss that aspect for sure. I don't miss having classes and tests and all that shit. Fuck
In fact,
that.
I had a very similar conversation with pro exactly with who, but it was a very similar conversation where we first started talking about, oh, I miss college. And we started talking about, all the fun things we did. And then we started talking about classes and all the brutal finals and projects and all the other stuff. And then by the end of it, we're starting to get that residual stress again. And we're like, you know what? The more you think about it, there are some brutal moments too. I think you look back with rose, what's the term?
Yeah.
Rose glass.
Rose tinted
Yeah,
glasses.
Yeah, you only think about the good times. There are a lot of tough times too, especially with the majors that a lot of us took, either engineering related or engineering to cog sci. Like, wasn't a lot of free time with those.
Yeah.
yeah,
So basically, where that comes into what I said is like if we had all the time in the world to finish our degree and we could take like 3 classes every quarter, which I never did. I always took either 4 or 5.
Wow.
If we could take like 2 or 3, bro, it'd be a piece of cake. It'd be like cakewalk, literally. It like just going to dog days and then like going to frat events, and then literally working was one of the most fun things to do on campus. It was very fun. Those
Yeah,
late those late night shifts that we like hated when we were doing it are some of my fondest memories like on that campus, because it was just like everyone was like a group of, it was always like a group of either 4 or 5 people, usually 5 because it's closing is harder. 5 like 18 to like 22-year-olds, just like talking about what 18 to 22-year-olds talk about, and like listening to music and joking around and like just waiting for time to pass so we can fucking clock out and go. It was a good vibe.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean that'll definitely forever be the most enjoyable and fun job I've ever had. You know, like in terms of the ratio of how chill it was to, I guess, you know, the quality of the people you were surrounded by. Like, you know, everyone in HMs for the most part, you know, there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, we all got along like well. Like we were like a big group of friends. You know, we would joke about being like another almost like, you know, fraternity kind of. Um, and yeah, like it was great. I definitely have probably won't ever again have a job where every member of the team, you know, all the people that you're working with day to day are on such the same wavelength, you know.
It was a fraternity where instead of paying dues, you get paid. So
Exactly.
Tyler, that's the
yeah.
that's the better kind.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're in the wrong group.
I finally gave in. I was still in the HM Snapchat group.
Oh,
And I finally was just like I think a few weeks ago, I was just like, fuck this. Like, I don't know any of these people anymore. I'm out.
You know, there's a point where you have to make that
Yeah.
damn,
call.
Ben.
Leave the group.
The moment you left the group, you aged like 10 years. Like you'll never get those 10 years back. You've literally become like a dad when you clicked leave. I hope you know that.
Yep.
Dude, I deleted that. I deleted that app recently. I was like, I don't
Oh,
even know why I still have
bro,
it. Like,
Snapchat is shit.
awful.
I deinstalled Snapchat like in 2016, 17. Because with stories, no one's gonna actually like switch apps
Yeah.
to like post on Snapchat, something that you can do on Instagram and more things too. So then, yeah.
I see. I'm the opposite. I still have not figured out how to use Instagram stories to their maximum, you know, potential. So I'm still posting to Snapchat because it's definitely what I've been using for longer.
Yeah.
Instagram confuses the shit out of me. There's so much you can do.
Who out of the 4 of us is the biggest boomer?
The biggest boomer. Ooh,
I feel like it's probably me. I just
really?
Oh, yeah, that's a good.
I
'Cause
feel like if it's not me, then I'm at least second place. I'm up there, dude. I barely am on social media at all.
yeah.
I don't have
Shane,
TikTok. You know,
yeah,
I'm so
listens to rock, listens to
yeah.
rock, doesn't listen to hip hop. Yeah,
I listen to a little bit. Not that
doesn't
bad.
doesn't drink lean every day. Just
Yeah,
basic boomer
exactly.
shit.
How dare I? Honestly.
Yeah,
Did I tell you guys that in October I'm going to a 100 Gex concert?
no,
You either know
No.
what that is.
you've talked about them extensively, but I saw a meme. I'm trying to remember what the meme was about 100 gags. I'll try
What's
to
the group
figure it
called?
out.
100 Gex, GECS. Um, not for the faint of heart. I don't even listen to them that much like lately, but I think it's gonna be a crazy like
Oh shit!
weird
I think
show
Brazil
that
just
I
got
just
a
want to
gold medal.
experience. Oh
Oh,
shit.
No, it was just The skater did a really good trick.
Nah. Basically, I guess I don't. I don't. I'm not gonna recommend it to anyone because you have. It's very niche. It's very grating on the ears. It's hyper pop, which is just like it's kind of like pop, and it's evolved also to be like trap as well. Like just taken to like the extremes, kind of like satire of the source material, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's just over the top in like every way. It's just the vocals and the production and everything.
Wait, is it? It's pop?
It's hyper pop. So it's like there's a lot of similar themes to pop music. Like the whole thing is just kind of like a satire or a parody almost of like pop music. And also there's hyper trap now, which is like they're kind of meshed together. It's same thing. Like it's like really fast, loud, a lot of sound effects going on, quick songs, just over the top. It's a lot. But it's gonna be a crazy show, and I'm like super pumped for it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like
legit.
a weekend before Halloween as well, or like a week before Halloween. I mean,
Very cool.
Damn. Okay, I'll give it a listen.
Prepare yourself to do.
yeah. There's I would not be insulted if you say this is the fucking weirdest like worst thing I've ever heard. In no way.
Is that something? Is Trent really into 100 gags?
I don't think so. Like I've talked to him about it. I don't think he goes out of his way to listen to it a lot. It is like kind of in his wheelhouse of music that's rough to listen to and that's grating on the ears.
You know he likes that stuff.
Yeah.
How is he?
Huh?
Not to narrowcast. We can talk about it off air too. But how is Trent? I feel like if I look like it's been 2 years since I last saw Trent. I feel like he could be anything now. Like his hair could be blue. Like he could be covered in tattoos. He could be buff as fuck. He could be like really fat. Like it's an enigma. Like with Trent, you really can't tell.
You know what's insane to me is that you just nailed it on all fronts.
All of those things.
All of those things.
Blue hair, tattoo, and buff.
Buff and no, I'm kidding. I don't know. We could talk about it after.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe we can just edit that out. I don't know.
The world deserves to know how Trent's doing.
For all of our listeners who know Trent and care about him, Trent's doing just fine. Don't worry.
Thank God. This is the update I needed.
Trent's someone who like I think would be interesting to have on the show, but he would definitely take it and like run away like a runaway train. He would just we would be letting him loose on the world. Who knows how it would go. The last two times I keep in touch with them. Like we will play like Xbox and stuff together. And like the last few times I've talked to him, we've just like he's talked to me about all of the like communists and like socialist theory that he's been reading and like thinking about. Like he's super into it, and like he's looking to go to grad school to like I'm not sure exactly what, like it's gonna be like sociology or philosophy or what, but like he wants to like write about this stuff and like do research and be active in that, I guess, community.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's like he's super driven to do it. Like it's really cool.
Through from like beginning in maybe middle school through like university, you can barely catch your breath and like try to figure out what you believe. You kind of can, because like I mean there's free time here and there, and like you're surrounded by like-minded people and you have some discussions, but I've noticed that my understanding of who I am and what I believe has consolidated so much faster after college than before college. Because before college, it was just like trying to like survive and like basically like killing a lion a day so I could like feed myself, you know? And then now I can kind of like, ooh, okay, who am I? And then like, I think that's probably why so many people start going to therapy after college. I think is also because of that. And I'd be very interested in hearing about the communist theories that he has, because that's a lot of the books in my um, book list that I have on Amazon are like political theory. I have like different types of books, but in the political section of that list, there's a lot of like um, Marcus Garvey and um, the woman Shakur, something Shakur, Afeni Shakur, I think, and
Shaquille
those
O'Neal.
kinds of no,
Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
and yeah, I'm very interested in mainly the Black Power movement, and Pan Africanism and shit like that. I wonder if I mean, Trent's probably interested in that too.
You think we could have Trent debate Ben Shapiro on Dog Days?
Oh my god.
I know Ben Shapiro is a listener, so I think we could get him. I think he's got time. I would pay. I think anyone would pay a lot of money to experience that.
It would be the greatest episode.
To this day, I take
because we would have peaked, dude. We would have to stop doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
I take pride in not having ever listened to a single word that came out of Ben Shapiro's mouth. I have no idea who that is. Like I know what people say about him. I know what people say about him. And that doesn't compel me too much to go listen to him.
You're not missing much.
He sucks. The best part of it, like, he's just the biggest fucking like dweeb, and he just he says so many things that just like make him look like more of like a straight up fool. And I don't know, like he has just no self-awareness. Like he burns himself all the time. It's hilarious.
Bro,
He just won't stop.
but
He said something. He said something about like it's like physical. He like tweeted like it's physically impossible for a woman to have an orgasm from like normal sexual intercourse or something like that, because like his wife told him that because like he said that unironically.
Yeah. Did someone tell him?
I in his defense,
something like that.
I saw somewhere that all female orgasms are clitoris induced, even if there's penetration, like it is because there's some kind of stimulating the clitoris. But I don't know.
Yeah. Welcome to our new sexual education segment of Dog Days.
We've talked about everything today.
How many times can we say clitoris?
Shane, say clitoris. Do it.
Clitoris.
Okay.
There you go.
I think we have to end with that.
No, that's the name.
We can't leave our audience all hot and bothered.
That's the name of the episode. Is Shane says clitoris.
Oh man.
But
I thought when you started that sentence, I thought you were gonna say like, well, to be fair, I've never done it. Like,
I thought so too. I was like,
I was like, whoa, wait. All right.
You and Ben can bond over that. I
Bro.
meant Ben Shapiro, not you.
Yeah.
oh
my god.
You guys talking about Ben Shapiro reminded me of Uzai, because and because like I was gonna say, like, anyone that's a close friend of Joe Rogan's, I'm not interested in knowing what they think about the world. And also anyone that Uzai has jokingly or not like idolized, I'm also not interested in knowing what they think. And that reminded me of another anecdote, which is a good anecdote if we want to close the episode on it, is so 2019, I think it was January, because Plinio's birthday is in January. We were planning in January 2019 for Plinio's birthday to rent an Airbnb in LA. so that we could spend the weekend there. I think it was probably a long weekend. When's MLK usually?
January.
Yeah, but like it's towards the end of the month, right?
Uh,
I think so.
Yeah,
I
sure.
have to look it up again.
Because so I think it was MLK weekend. So it was a long weekend, and then we were in LA. Me, Planio, Gary Uzai, Eden, and Matt Coriel and Tokyo.
Okay.
It's the third Monday of every January. So
Yeah,
yeah, whatever
exactly.
Monday that was.
Yeah, that was that
Right.
weekend then. And then we planned it and then we got there and we're super tired. And then we get there and I see Yuze for the first time because we came in different cars and he has a Bolsonaro shirt on. Bolsonaro had just won the election. It was January 19. He won the election in November.
Yeah.
And it was just Uzai shit to do. It was the most Uzai thing ever. Was he'd walk around UCSD, Southern California, wearing a Ronald Reagan tank top like every single day, and then he goes to hang out with two Brazilian dudes, and then he wears a Bolsonaro t-shirt. It's the most Uzai thing ever. Just to spite people, or maybe he thinks it's funny for some reason.
Uzai is one of the of all the people I've ever met, he's one of the biggest enigmas for sure. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I could never tell when he was being ironic, and like, if any of it was ironic or all of it was ironic. Like, straight up, I still don't know. And
Yeah, I've always
that's the best part about Uzai.
because yeah, he would be this like ironic enigma is a good way to put it. But then like he would then also sometimes be like really really nice, and then like do like wow thank you Uzai, and then he would switch back to being a weird like enigma.
Yeah.
Like all right, I think
Like-
I saw the real you for a sec.
Yeah, like I definitely like. There's sometimes like. Is that the Bolsonaro shirt? Fuck yeah. Oh, it's got the fucking meme glasses on it too.
Yeah.
Fucking Uzai. Oh my god.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times I remember, like, when we would go out to PB on like Friday nights, like last year, like, up until the pandemic happened, like he would come over for like pre games and stuff, and like we'd be out on the patio, like just us two, like drinking a beer, like smoking a cigarette, and we'd just have like deep conversations, and it was just like very un-Uzai. And we'd go back in, and he'd go back and just like saying dumb shit to everyone. It was the best.
Bro, we were in Hollywood. We're hiking up the Hollywood Hill, and this guy. So like we took turns taking a piss, like on the hill because there was nowhere else to take a piss, and as I was going for my turn taking a piss, this guy came out of like the bushes and like just like went away and went somewhere. Like I don't fucking know where he went. But Uzai thought it was the funniest thing ever to start saying that he was my boyfriend because he was looking at my dick. And then the rest of the fucking weekend, he was like asking me, "How's your boyfriend? Where's your boyfriend? Do you like him? Are you in love with him?" And everyone was laughing. And I was like, Uzai, okay, like I get it. That's okay. But he couldn't fucking stop.
Just gotta drive it into the ground, man. That's him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My favorite Uzai thing was that he hated cheese and tomatoes, so he would order Domino's pizza that was just crust with like
Disgusting.
chicken or like meat on top. It was just crusted meat, and he would have to swear, like he would have to like call them, like we would be, we'd make like a group order, and like we would have to hand the phone over to him to like explain to them and tell like swear to them that he wasn't like pranking them, like wasn't like making a joke, like he wanted that like legitimately. And it was the nastiest, driest shit. I don't understand.
Why did he even bother? Like I don't understand.
At that point, just fucking eat something else, bro.
It's like I'm vegetarian, but I love the smell of a barbecue. And then like I really want everything else that goes with the barbecue. I want like, but I don't want the meat. It's like if you can't wait, he couldn't eat cheese or the sauce.
He didn't. It's not that he couldn't eat them. He just didn't like cheese, and I guess he didn't like tomatoes or tomato sauce. I guess.
Why would you get pizza?
It was so dry, dude. It was just meat and crust.
Just
I
Uber
love it.
Eats a loaf of bread, then, bro. Yeah.
Oh my
Jesus.
god. It's the best.
I just found a picture of you eating ramen, Ben.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was that place that was really mediocre? Or is it a different place?
I can't remember a mediocre place. All the ramen I've ever eaten is really fucking good.
There was a place that opened up near campus, like right over where the AMC was and like Trader Joe's and all that, right near
Mm-hmm.
campus.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Asia went at some point. I think it was like after spring break, maybe. Like
Mm-hmm.
we had just gotten back from spring break, and it was just bad. Like it had opened up recently. It was just
I
like
think it was that place.
not good. Oh well, what a nice memory.
Yeah. All right. And with that, thank you for listening. I hope all of you get to meet your Uzais one day. And I've been Judu. Thank you.
I've been Ben and Enigma Balls. Oh.
Dang. My name is Shane, and I want to leave on the fact that according to FIFA World Rankings, the United States is the 9th best soccer team in the world. So that's hilarious, and I just want to leave on that. So watch out, next World Cup.
USA.
I have to stop you right there. I can't have any more of this. Bye.